On Nationwide this evening, a new approach to helping our young people deal with stressful and emotional times in their lives. We meet the teachers who are introducing mindfulness to the classroom. Derval Dunford and Anne Caulfield have practiced mindfulness for some time now, and they've brought out a new collection of CDs and an online course for teachers. It's called Developing Mindfulness and Happiness in Primary School Children. They're teaching children the art of mindfulness with a view to them reaching their potential both inside and outside the classroom. And Nationwide went to Mayo to see how the children are getting on.
Schools are very, very busy places. The pace of life in a school is hectic, and it can be very difficult to get calm in a classroom.
What I love about the work is just the happiness that you see in the kids, the calmness that you see in the kids, and the smile and the serenity. It's just fantastic.
We started it in 2011. The invitation by the Mayo Education Centre was to set up an online course, a course particularly for teachers, and called Developing Mindfulness and Happiness for Primary School Children.
I'd heard about Mindfulness Matters through the Education Centre, and I invited Anne and Derval out, and they did a class first of all with the children, and the children just responded so positively. They loved it.
So does anybody ever have a busy mind? Hands up anybody who ever has had a busy mind. Almost everybody. When your mind is very busy, it looks like this. And it can be very difficult to get to sleep. It can be very difficult to focus on your work. It can be very difficult to do your maths or your Irish. But if you actually take a few breaths, what happens?
Like, the thoughts that are in your head, they all like just go away.
Your thoughts slow down when you take a breath.
We wanted to create something for children, something for adults, a support that could be used on a daily basis. So we have the CDs as a support that children can use at home with their parents on their own. They can use it in the school, and then they learn the techniques from the CDs. So it's very mobile and very much actually a common sense approach to stress and anxiety.
Well, I've always had this belief that for children to have a minute's silence in the classroom would be a wonderful thing. I just think as an adult I find it brilliant, and I think if it was something that I learned as a child, I would have the skills, I would have the coping skills that go with that.
We try to create that safe place inside for children so that they have somewhere to go to. So regardless of how crazy it is in the outside world or how busy their minds are, they actually have somewhere deep inside that they can come back to. And they know that through practice. We focus on what's already in the present moment. Your body is in the present moment. Your breath is in the present moment. Your five senses are in the present moment. So listening to the sound of the bowl all the way to the very, very end, and when you definitely can't hear it anymore, putting your hand up and opening your eyes.
I brought it into the classroom through the SPHE programme, and we've been doing that now for 2 years with every class from first class up, and we have found it of huge benefit to the children. And I have found that through using the Mindfulness Matters that we can get calm and we can stop and think and have a pause in the middle of all this busyness of school.
Notice your gentle, quiet breathing in and out. Soft and relaxed. Feel the breath in your belly, moving in and out.
Even the children will tell you that their heads get cluttered, and it helps them to relax their body and mind. And once their bodies and minds are relaxed, they're more open to learning.
Close your eyes and think this is your body, from your head all the way down to your toes. I want you to consider a time when you feel fantastic. And I want you to consider a colour that goes with that. So where do you feel it?
It feels like it's going around in a heart shape, and it makes me feel really good.
Great. And do you feel good now?
Yeah.
Great stuff. Good on you. Mindfulness Matters has a number of programmes. There's a 4-hour online programme, which is available during the term time. There's a 20-hour online course, which is the professional development for teachers. And then there are face-to-face courses. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is a little bit about being mindful It's about noticing. It's about gentleness. It's about being present just here, right now.
Because a lot of times today now, children are very busy and it's just a bit of time for them to quiet down. I think it's important for them to be able to do that.
The whole Mindfulness and Happiness course started here. And one of the things that Mayo Education Centre did was to put a whole suite of courses online, which you can find at the Mayo Education Centre site. And we weren't quite sure that this would work online. But of course, the girls developed these short video clips. And suddenly the course has gone online in a useful educational context. And it's been a huge success for them and for the Mayo Education Centre.
And it was one of the best courses I have ever done as a teacher. Because I think if it helps you yourself, it has to transfer to the children that you're working with.
Again, closing the eyes, keeping them closed as if you were asleep. And again, notice the gentle breath.
We have found that the mindfulness enhances great values in the children. They move around the classroom in a respectful manner. And I think it's just because their bodies and their minds are calm and relaxed as a result of the mindfulness.
And some children, they come into school, they might be stressed. It helps them to calm down. They're more receptive to learning. I think it's a great resource for them. And it would be great for them when they meet stresses later on in life.
Our hope as Mindfulness Matters would be to support inner resilience in children so that they have this self-worth, self-esteem. So later on in life, when they're teenagers, their peer pressure maybe won't be as difficult to deal with. And as they come into adulthood, they'll be happy with who they are. And notice how all the thoughts in the mind settle.
A happy teacher, a happy child, a happy classroom.
Wouldn't you just love to see mindfulness being practiced in schools all around the country? Maybe someday.